The global phenomenon that is BTS has always been more than just music. For over a decade, the group has built an emotional universe where connection, loyalty, and shared growth define not only their artistry, but also their bond with fans. Within that universe, certain relationships have captured the imagination of millions, none more intensely than the dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook, often affectionately referred to by fans as jikook. Recently, whispers have begun circulating across online communities, igniting a wave of curiosity, emotion, and speculation. Could Jimin and Jungkook be planning a life beyond Korea once their journey with BTS reaches its final chapter? The rumor didn't emerge from a single moment. Instead, it grew quietly, almost organically, from a series of subtle interactions, statements, and changes in tone that fans have meticulously pieced together. For a fandom as observant and emotionally invested as ARMY, nothing ever truly goes unnoticed. It began with what seemed like a harmless comment during a casual live session. Jungkook, relaxed and reflective, spoke about wanting to experience life more freely someday. The phrasing was simple, almost offhand, but fans immediately felt the weight behind it. Around the same time, Jimin, in a separate interview, shared his thoughts about starting fresh in a place where no one knows you. Individually, these statements might not have raised eyebrows. Together, however, they painted a picture that was difficult to ignore. And then came the moments. Moments that to outsiders might appear ordinary, but to those who have followed Jimin and Jungkook for years, carried a deeper significance. Lingering glances during rehearsals, private jokes that seemed to hint at shared plans. The unmistakable comfort of two people who have grown up side by side, navigating fame, pressure, and identity together. Fans began asking questions, not out of intrusion, but out of emotional investment. What happens when BTS eventually slows down? Where do its members go? And more specifically, what happens to the bonds that were formed under such extraordinary circumstances? For Jimin and Jungkook, their story has always been one of contrast and harmony. Jimin, with his introspective nature and emotional sensitivity, often acts as the grounding force. Jungkook, energetic and endlessly curious, brings a sense of spontaneity and boldness. Together, they create a balance that feels both natural and deeply compelling. Over the years, their relationship has evolved in ways that fans have documented with almost archival precision. From playful teasing in their early debut days to the quieter, more emotionally layered interactions seen in recent years, there has been a noticeable shift, one that suggests maturity, trust, and an unspoken understanding. This evolution is part of what fuels the current speculation. Because when fans look at Jimin and Jungkook now, they don't just see bandmates. They see two individuals who have shared formative years, who have witnessed each other's growth, vulnerabilities, and transformations. And naturally, the question arises, could that bond extend into whatever comes next? The idea of leaving Korea, while dramatic, is not entirely unrealistic. Many global artists eventually explore life abroad, seeking new creative environments, privacy, or simply a change of pace. For members of BTS, whose fame transcends borders, the world is quite literally open to them. But for Jimin and Jungkook, the speculation isn't just about geography, it's about togetherness. Fans have pointed to small but telling details. Their travel preferences, often overlapping. Their shared interests in art, music, and lifestyle aesthetics that align more with international influences. Even their conversations about wanting to live normally, away from constant public scrutiny, have been interpreted as clues. Of course, it's important to acknowledge the nature of these interpretations. They are built on observation, emotion, and sometimes projection. Neither Jimin nor Jungkook has confirmed any plans to leave Korea together. And yet, the absence of confirmation hasn't stopped the narrative from gaining momentum. In fact, it has done the opposite. Because mystery, when combined with emotional investment, tends to amplify curiosity rather than diminish it. Online platforms have become a space where theories are not just shared but expanded upon. Some fans believe the two may be considering a temporary move, perhaps for creative projects or personal growth. Others imagine something more permanent, a quiet life in a city far from the spotlight, where they can redefine themselves outside the framework of BTS. The emotional response to these theories has been intense. For many armies, the idea of BTS ending, even hypothetically, is already difficult to process. Adding the possibility of members dispersing across the world only deepens that sense of uncertainty. And yet, within that uncertainty lies a surprising sense of comfort. Because if there is one thing fans have consistently believed in, it is the strength of the bonds within BTS. And in the case of Jimin and Jungkook, that bond feels particularly resilient. There is a sense that no matter where life takes them, they will remain connected in a way that transcends distance or circumstance. Whether as collaborators, friends, or simply two people who understand each other on a profound level, their relationship is seen as something enduring. This belief is reinforced by the way they continue to show up for each other. Even in the busiest schedules, even under the most intense pressures, there are moments, small, fleeting, but undeniably genuine, where their connection becomes visible. A reassuring touch, a shared smile, the kind of quiet support that doesn't need to be announced to be understood. It is these moments that keep the narrative alive. Because for fans, the story of Jimin and Jungkook is not just about speculation or possibility. It's about continuity, about the idea that even as chapters close, certain connections remain constant. And so the rumor persists, not as a definitive claim, but as a question, one that continues to echo across the fandom. What if? What if, after years of living under the same spotlight, Jimin and Jungkook choose to step into a different kind of life? One defined not by schedules and stages, but by personal choice and quiet freedom. What if the next chapter of their story is not written in arenas or studios, but in the everyday moments of a life lived on their own terms? For now, there are no clear answers, only fragments, hints, possibilities, and a fandom that continues to watch, to wonder, and to feel deeply connected to every step of the journey. As the conversation grows, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Regardless of where Jimin and Jungkook go, or what they choose to do, their story has already left an indelible mark, not just on the history of BTS, but on the hearts of those who have followed them from the beginning. And perhaps, in the end, that is what matters most. Because some stories don't need a confirmed ending to feel complete. They simply continue, evolving, unfolding, and living on in the spaces between reality and imagination. And for Jimin and Jungkook, that space remains as powerful and as captivating as ever.